Hello, welcome to today's video. So, the last couple of days when and especially before as well actually, sorry, I started doing videos about making money. And as the audience has kind of grown and grown, and I've seen the videos get a couple of thousand views, I'm starting to get some feedback which I'm seeing kind of a repeat of what I was experiencing in the past as well, which is people kind of seeing maybe my video and then thinking that they're immediately going to start making 30 million off the bat, and then kind of been put off when they realize that there's a grind behind the game. So I thought I would make a guide for newbies. This is going to be part 1 today. I'm going to make it as a step-by-step guide every couple of days, and the reason I'm going to put a little bit of a gap between videos is I really want people to actually go away and make money as the videos go on. So as you can see today, I'm in Elevate, I'm in Cleve Hub, in a Sidewinder, which is, I have not been in a Sidewinder for maybe the first day after I bought the game. I think I sold it and exchanged it for a new ship. So it's weird to be back in that ship, but it's bringing back some memories, and I'm going to kind of start to take you down the route of how you're going to make your first bits of money. So what we're going to do is I'm going to go into the game myself, and I'm going to point you around a few things. So one thing that this game doesn't really do is it doesn't show you the ropes. So rather than to just say to people, I'll go out and start, you know, I say do the road to riches, and people say to me, well, what's that? Well, I can't just tell you the road to riches unless I know you've made a certain amount of money. And I would say that amount of money is probably about, you can probably kit out a decent ship for around the 3 million mark and go out and do the road to riches and really start earning money. So how do you get to that amount of money? Well, you can either do grind in one ship, or you can kind of step up and step up and step up as you go. But I'm going to show you vaguely how you can really start putting that money together. And believe me, 3 million isn't that hard to come by if you put the work in at the beginning. So the first thing I want you to do in your Sidewinder is to go to your right panel here, and you can see like data about your trade ranks, your explorer rank, your combat rank. As you can see, I'm elite in 2 there. You can see I've got a lot of money, but I started out just like anybody else playing this game. Okay, exact same position. It's just I've done a lot of work to get where I am, but it doesn't change other things. So I'm in the basic Sidewinder. I haven't done anything to it yet because I thought it probably best not to. What you're going to do here is you're going to go into your fire groups. You need to change your basic to discovery scanner to number 2, and you can probably put your data link scanner as number 2 as well. Might as well kill 2 birds with 1 stone. And then you're going to go back to the main screen. So wait, put it back there. You'll be in this one. Now what you can do is, if you have some money at the beginning, or if you're watching this video and you've made a couple of credits, you can go into outfitting, go to optional internals, and there is a spot here, and I've actually added it already. Sorry, I didn't realise I had. You can add an extra cargo rock. Other things you can add to there are things like an advanced discovery scanner, but as you can see that costs 1.5 million, which is a lot of money, but it's not that far away from having. So let's go back. Imagine you've got nothing, and imagine you're in this basic Sidewinder like I am here. Okay, so what you need to start doing is you need to start shifting commodities. And at first you're probably going to go into here and you're going to say, oh, buy low, sell high. So what can I buy for my money? You've got next to no money, so you're going to buy the cheapest thing, which here will be bio waste. And you'll try and fill up your 6 slots, and then you'll go sell it, and you'll make about 2,000 credits on each one. You might triple your money if you're lucky, but that's to keep coming backwards and forwards to do that is going to be a grind, and you might not even double your money if you don't know what you're doing or you don't know where you're selling it. So forget all that for the moment. You can do something much simpler, and I'm going to give you a job title for your Sidewinder because that's where you're going to make your money. You're going to be a postman. Okay, you're going to be a simple everyday postman. So you're going to go into your mission board here. Once you're in your mission board, you see these courier jobs. You're not going to have a lot because you're not. If you look up to the top right, you'll see where it says Erevet School of Commerce. If you look just a bit down there, it'll say System Influence and Faction Reputation. They're going to be really low. Okay, they're going to be super low, and so you're not going to make huge amounts of money from this, and you're not going to have a ton of job offers. So at the beginning, you really have to kind of pick away at these. Now, you see this one. This is a courier job available to Kremian. I'm not too interested in doing that one because the distance is quite far. You can actually see here on my Sidewinder, it says ship, Sidewinder and jump range 7.51 light years. Now that's going to go down if I put cargo on, so it's probably going to take me a few jumps to do something in that. But let's just jump on. We've got somewhere in Frigga which is 6 light years, so that's a bit better. That's kind of more in our distance, but that's only going to give us commodities as a reward. It's not actually going to give us any money if you look at it. And to be honest with you, that's probably not worth it to do that. So I'd go down to the next one. Okay, here we have a really good one. Look at that. That's popped up. A boom data delivery, 171,000 credits, and that's to LHS 3447, which is 4.16 light years away. Okay, so I'm going to take that. Okay. I'm going to take that one for the moment because that's going to earn me a little bit. The others can kind of pottery. I don't mind as a destination personally. I think it's an okay destination. It's only 5.32 light years, so I don't mind taking stuff out there. And if there's a couple of missions going out there, I'll definitely go. Apoyata or whatever it's called is a bit too far for me. So yeah, what I'll do is I'll take those ones for pottery. And I'll just see if there's any more to pottery. I don't think there is. Okay, there isn't. So, if you imagine that's all I'm going to take. Now what you can do is you can do this. You can go into your pause menu. You can exit to main menu. You can go start, open play. Now what this is going to do is this is going to give you a new jobs board. So when you go into Starport Services and you go into your mission board, this is going to be a different board from what you had in solo. Now this is another thing. In the early days you probably want to play in solo. You can go into open, but if you have people hanging around, you might just get yourself into grief, and it's probably not worth it. So I'm going to have a look down there just to see if there's something else to where I'm going, which it doesn't look like there is, unfortunately. Might be here. Yep, there's one. LHS 3447. That's one I'm going to as well, and that's for another 170,000 credits. This is just data delivery for the moment. So what you can actually do is you could go into your outfitting and take out your cargo racks. You go into outfitting like this, optional internal. You can store this, so go into transfer, store. Okay, this is going to be able to make your ship jump a bit farther. I mean, it won't make it jump a whole lot farther, but as you get on, and what you want to do is you want to replace them when you see any missions, or you should come back and actually replace them, then go to your mission board, just in case there's any deliveries that need doing there, because sometimes you have deliveries that need to be done there. Okay, so what I'm going to do is actually I'm just going to put them back in just for the moment, because I'm trying to kind of prove a point. So I go back into optional internals, and then I can transfer these back in. So I get the 4, transfer to ship, browse shop. Oh, not browse shop. What am I doing? Transfer, Cargo rack 2, transfer to ship. Okay, and then I'm gonna go back into solo mode. Oh, this board hopping, some people, there's arguments whether people say it's good, bad, indifferent and whatnot, but you know, that's what it is, so but I don't mind it. I honestly, and I don't mind other people doing it. I don't see what the problem is. So you can see we go back in, start out services, so you can do this at once, go out into open and then come back. Check your mission board again. What you also want to check is just if there's any deliveries. Okay, because you might have a delivery, not a trade or anything like that. You want to look for actual specific deliveries. There's one to Ekin. I don't mind going to Ekinor. I used to like going there. Chamunda. I never used to mind going to Chamunda actually. Okay, so there you go. There's another 12,000 to Patriti. Okay, Apoyoto, we're not going there. Friga, okay, we're not going there. Friga, Patriti, there's another one to Patriti. So you can see I've popped out and popped back in again. I've now got a few more missions. So at the moment, I'm not going to go for the extra jump range because this is just a educational video. But you can see we have 20, 22, 34. Okay, 70, 89, 234. 259, 75, 84, 284, 384, like 400,000, let's say. Okay, and it's more than that, but let's say I have 400,000 on there for one trip out. Well, to two places, but it's one trip out. Okay, so I'm looking to go to Patriti and to LHS 1442. So I'm going to do the LHS 3447. So I'm going to go into the galaxy map. And when you do these, you probably want to keep a cargo rack actually, because although I'm talking about the jump range being better, you get rewards and you need a cargo rack to claim those rewards. So I'd keep the cargo rack on there, at least one of them anyway. Okay, plot your route and launch. Now I'm going to do the whole route here, just to show you actually how fast it can be. Just going to put my pips up to my engine so I can get things done a little bit faster. Okay, so we're out of the station now. We just want to get clear of the mass lock. And if you look down to the bottom right hand corner where it says speeding, you can actually see this jump's going to take a little bit of fuel. And now I'm not mass locked, so I can jump. And now when I said that, before I do that, when I was on about press number 2, put the fire group on number 2, that's to do on your joystick or whatever. It'll be your second firing button, whatever you set that as. Wait, you always want to use that to scan the system. So as you scan the system when you're in Super Cruise, that's why you saw my guns coming out, you have to be in Super Cruise to do that. So I'm going to jump here and I'll show you what I mean. This is like some out of Firefly, this ship. I might just keep it just for the sake of it. You want to press fire number 2 so that you scan the system. Okay, now it hasn't turned anything up, and that's because I haven't got an advanced scanner, but you still want to do it just in case it throws anything up. Then go into your system map and find out, look, I've got to do 2 deliveries here unfortunately, and they're not that close to the arrival point, but we can't moan at the moment because we haven't got a lot of money. So if you want, you can just pick missions that go to World Ridge Terminal, but whichever. Now 91,000 light seconds, probably going to take a few minutes, but this is why you get that higher payment for the delivery, because it's going to take you a little bit more. Now you're probably going to want to do this until you reach around, I would say around 4 or 5 million, if you want to really make the good money fast. So I would say there's this kind of little hard grind at the beginning. I would do this till you have 4 or 5 million. In my second video, I'm going to show you the step from around 5 million on, of how you really start raking money in. And what I mean by that is, it takes you a while to reach that 5 million, but once you reach that 5 million, you're going to start making money pretty quickly. And I'm talking within a couple of hours, you might have made that 5 million into 50 million, depending on how fast you can do it. But well, 5 million to 50, maybe not in 2 hours, maybe it's going to take a little bit longer, but you're certainly going to be able to get that money skyrocketing, and then you can start concentrating on how you're going to make that bigger money in the future. There's no way around this in Elite. There's just absolutely no way around this grind. You have to do it. There is no super way of making money. There used to be one way you could wreck your Sidewinder to make money, but that's got nerfed, thankfully, because it was a pretty dodgy way of making money, shall we say. And I just think that you've got to try and enjoy the game, you know. Getting those few million, it might take a while, but just put your favourite music on in the background, enjoy a podcast, whatever it is that floats your boat while you're doing it, do it. Now, the reason I'm talking about doing it this way in this game is because I think in the early part of the game, these delivery missions, data delivery missions, are the best thing you can do. I think they make good money. You're not risking your ship, or you're not risking your cargo or anything like that. You're just delivering data, and you're very unlikely to be interdicted taking data to places. So I just think it's a much more safer route. Safer route to do this. So, as anybody knows, I try and make full videos. I don't really cut or anything like that, so this journey's taken a bit longer. So what I will tell you what I'm aiming on in episode 2, what I'm trying to aim you for, and this is why I'm going to put a couple of days between our release of videos, because if somebody watches this today, tomorrow or the next day, they can really start on that journey and just get used to making these deliveries until you've got 5 million, and then come back to video 2, and I'll put them in a playlist as I do it. So as you can see, it looks like we're not going anywhere. There's like 69,000 light seconds, but we're actually pulling away from the sun. So this is going to increase and get faster and faster and faster, and you'll see that clock, it's ticked down from over an hour, it's now down to 3 minutes. That clock does change a lot, so don't trust that 3 minutes. Don't think, oh, I'm going to be there in no time, because as you get close to the source, it actually slows down, and sometimes goes in the opposite direction a little bit, so it's kind of just something you've got to trust. Now, you should learn to enjoy your time in the Sidewinder as well, because as you go up, it'll be completely forgotten about, and you'll probably never touch it again. So, you know, have a good look around. It looks terrible. It literally looks like a postman's thing. It honestly does. It's got a lovely roof. There's no obstruction on that roof, so you can get beautiful views. And you can kit your Sidewinder out for exploration. It's not impossible to do it through a Sidewinder, and I will in my other builds, in my other videos, I will give you various different builds. So I'll give you one for this, I'll give you one for the Adder, and I'll give you one for the Diamondback Scout and Diamondback Explorer. So I'll give you options for your 5 million. So if you want to keep a little bit of money back, that's your choice. I'll concentrate mainly on the outfitting and the major things that you actually need when you go exploring, and then I'll also show you some tips about how not to blow yourself up and whatnot when you're out there exploring. Now in the future, when you're doing these type of missions, you might not have these bigger drop-ins, and it's probably worth checking some of them for the drop-ins, but at the beginning I think it's worth sitting back and just enjoying this little bit, and kind of getting used to it, because as you get up in the numbers, you're probably going to be doing a lot more sitting around as you're flying and stuff like that, so it's well worth getting used to. Now as you can see, I was already talking about it, we're at 69,000 seconds, light seconds, and now we're at 17, and it's still going down, so, and we're only just coming to a slow. Now you can see that clock underneath, it now says 104, it might go up a little bit as we get close to the target. And depending on how you're controlling your ship, whether you're doing it on keyboard or joystick or on a gamepad, you can choose various options, and one of the things you can choose is the option to slow your ship down to 75%. You can do this by a button on the keyboard or a button on the joystick. The joypad, it's a little bit more difficult to do it, but as long as you're aware and you're watching that timer, really you can just pull back on the accelerator, and as soon as you pull out of that top zone, it's gonna slow down. So, and I think it's something to get used to. I kind of fly by a few times, because if you don't slow down, you go past the planet at a super fast speed. So you probably want to keep away from doing that. Adds a little bit of time, and you haven't really got a lot of time on your hands when you're doing these missions, because you just want to get that money up. The other thing is we have a Discord. It'll be in the description at the bottom. You can join the Discord, and if you need any help, people will point you in the direction on that Discord. Now it's very early days for my Discord. I'm just growing my audience, so your answers might not be answered super quick, but I will try and do it. Somebody sent me a message today about just starting the game and not knowing what they were doing, which is why I thought, oh, you know, I should really go back and make this video. I don't want to teach anybody to suck eggs, but sometimes this game is so vast in scope that even as video makers and players who've been playing it for a long time, we forget. I was at work and thinking, what was it like being in the Sidewinder? And I was thinking it was an absolute nightmare. It took me a long time when I first started playing to actually work out to take these data missions. I was trying to run commodities left, right and centre and making very, very little money, but I was enjoying it. So as you can see, the clock's ticking down now. We're at 22 seconds. Now when that hits, I'm going to say 8 seconds if you are playing on joypad, or if you're playing on a keyboard or a joystick and you've been able to set that button to 75% throttle, you can do it bang on 7 seconds. So you can see 11, 10, 9, 8, and then you're going to pull back so that you throttle somewhere about halfway. You can do a little bit more if you want, and that'll stop you from going past, and now you can pretty much cruise to your destination. When it comes up with a little blue thing, it'll tell you to drop out of your hyper jump. Kind of keep going towards that, keep that circle right in the centre of your screen, or in between the two bars. I'm going to give you another tip here for successful landings, because I don't do landings very often. I use auto dock quite a lot, for the simple fact that I always slot it in a low slot, and it really doesn't affect the game I play. But I still think landing is a good skill to have, and it's one of the hardest things and scariest things to do when you're first playing the game. So as I come into Worldledge Terminal, I'm going to give you a couple of tips on how to land properly as well. So we're going to come out of hyper jump, and here we're going to pull back fully on our throttle, just so we don't mix anything up, okay? Now, we're going to go to contacts. Wait, no, actually, you see where it says Worldledge Terminal on the left? It says 8.28 kilometers. You need to advance until it's just under 7. So you want like 690 or something like that. So we're going to advance a little bit. Okay, so there, we're within it now. You go to contacts, world terminal, request docking. Now, as I said, I haven't got auto dock, and if you can afford it, it actually makes it a little bit better. But just to the right of where it says Corolla Station, you can see like a hollow cube, and you can see 2 arrows there. It'll turn into 1 hour in a moment, and then when it spins around, you see another arrow. That's telling you where the entrance is. So the entrance is over the top of this cube. This is just so you don't get lost. So we know we have to head over the top of it, okay? So you kind of want to be going in the direction of wherever those things are sending you. Now, there's a few different ways to approach the ship. People have kind of different ways of doing it. What I prefer to do is I like to come in over the top of these ships spinning around it there. I like to try and get the ship in view. So if I just look out my window here, to my left, you can see the ship there. So I want to kind of slow right down. You've got over 9 minutes to land. So just your first few times, get it down right. And one of the tips I'll give you is, you want the green lights on the right. So as you can see here, the green lights are on the right. I tend to come in like I would with an aeroplane. So kind of turn at the last moment and come in. Now as you enter the letterbox, just as you literally get to the blue bit, you let your landing gear down. We know we're going to pad 6, and so that's a little bit off to the left, I do believe. There we go. Actually, no, straight below us. I'm going to keep... Oh yeah, whatever. I'm going to keep it the power low. Even pull back a little bit more just as you're approaching the pad. Now, as I said, this is your first few times. After a while, you'll get it down. But you approach at really slow speed. Okay, as I said, you've got 9 minutes to land. Come in. You can see this red dot at the bottom where your ship is. And you see, as it gets over the circle, whoops, it's going to turn blue and you will dock. It's that simple. You might have a bump. You might have a bump or two. But it's that easy to land. It really, especially in the Sidewinder, as you get into other ships, it becomes a bit more difficult to land. But the fact that I had a bump there really shows you how easy it is. Okay, you go to your mission board. I'm going to claim my reward for that. And it'll come up. You've got 170,000 credits for that. Plus I've been given material awards of focus crystals ×4. This is very, very important. It's something a lot of people don't do, and it's one of the reasons why I said to take the cargo rack with you. Go back, go out of that, go into your commodities market, and under cargo, in the middle, you'll see... Oh no, actually, is this something that goes in my materials? Okay, sometimes you have cargo, and when you have that cargo, you can sell it. If it's not cargo, you go to your inventory here, look in materials, and it'll be somewhere in this list of what you've collected. So, you can go on now, you go back to your map, you see your transactions, you see what else you've got to deliver, and then you go to that place and deliver it. Then, once all your deliveries are done, you want to go into your galaxy map, and you want to go back to the first system. Do you remember the name of the first system? Yep, Elevate. So, Elevate. Go back to Elevate. Go into the system. And voila, it's there. What you can also do is what I've done here is you can see there is a, when you click Elevate, there is a bookmark button. Click it, so that you know where your home system is for the time being while you're making money. After you've made money, there is a universe of home systems to go to. Okay, a whole universe. This game is huge, and you're going to have a lot of fun playing it. But for the moment, go out there, make your first 5 million, and I will catch you in the next video. See you later.